among the people. I will sing unto thee among the nations, for thy mercy is great unto the heavens, and thy truth unto the clouds. Be thou exalted, O God, above the heavens. Let thy glory be above all the earth. And I started last week by sharing with the congregation of the occasion of this psalm. According to the title, it was written by David while he was hiding in the cave from Saul, while he was running from Saul. We went through all this, several weeks and months back. We went through 1 Samuel and David hiding and running from Saul and all that was going on. I believe that was Psalm 56. Am I correct? Or was it Psalm 55 we stayed in for so long concerning that? It was giving David a real hard time, and part of our lesson was he was in the cave, and this psalm is referring to that specific time in itself. And I'll not go through the trouble reading 1 Samuel 24, those 22 verses again. I'll just tell you the things that happened while David was in the cave, hiding with his men, hiding from Saul. And Saul came into the cave while he was hiding in there, and he come in to take a nap, and he covered himself. And David and his men were hiding in there to rest, and Saul came in to take a nap. His men stayed outside the cave. They was guarding the entrance when the enemy, Saul, who he considered to be his enemy, was all inside with him, and they didn't know. So David was urged by his men to go ahead and kill Saul and be done with it. And that way he wouldn't have to worry about Saul chasing him and trying to kill him. Of course, David didn't do that. He refused to do that, but he did go cut the bottom parts off the skirt of Saul's robe off and stayed hidden in the cave, and Saul never knew that took place. He never knew they were in there. So David left the cave, or Saul left the cave, and David followed off after Saul left the cave. David followed at a safe distance, and then he called out to the king and held up the part and cut off his robe to show him that he had had the opportunity to kill Saul, but did not. Saul declared David more righteous than himself, and David got to vow not to cut off his family when he became king. And when Saul died, he went on home. David promised him he would not cut off his family, kill them off. So God, that was a calamity to David. The reason I brought that out, that was a calamity to David, having to deal with this hard time, this hardship. And God don't promise his people that we'll never have any calamities, that we're free of any bad things happening. Now, we get surprised when it does happen. Why did this happen to me? Why did God let this come? Why did God not do something? Why didn't he stop this? And we have all these whys, and woe is me, it's happened to me, it never happens to nobody else. And that's a big wrong answer. Everybody has things happen to them, and a lot of people experience the same things. This morning, I thought I was going to be one of those folks that had a house fire on Christmas, during Christmas holidays, and have a house burned to the ground, but it didn't. It could have, but it didn't. It may while we're here tonight, I don't know, but that's something. That wouldn't be the only time it's ever happened. I read about that every year. Somebody gets burned out at Christmas. My parents experienced a house fire, burned everything they had. Of course, it wasn't during Christmas, but burned them out. They had to start from scratch and start all over. We think calamities and bad stuff and troubles only happens to bad people, but it happens to us. God said it rained on the just and it rains on the unjust. When the rains come, it covers everybody. Hardship comes to everybody, whether they're Christians or whether they're not Christians. We've got something that non-Christians don't have, and we've got somebody to go through it all with us. But how many people do you know that takes and blames God and uses that as an excuse to walk away from God? To stop church, quit reading their Bible, quit praying, quit just God's fault, God did it, I'm not having nothing to do with him. That part's where you're wrong. We're all going to have something to do with it. And you will give an account concerning that one day, if you do that. Verse 1, David cries out for mercy in his prayer. He cries out for mercy twice. Be merciful unto me, O God. Be merciful unto me, for my soul trusteth in thee. Listen, he says, yea, in the shadow of thy wings will I make my refuge until these calamities be overpassed. Two major topics in this psalm is revealed in verse 1. Mercy from God and trust in God. David cried out for mercy and then testified trusting in God. In 1 Chronicles 16 and verse 34, O give thanks unto the Lord, for he is good, for his mercy endureth forever. Psalms 136, we've done this a couple of times, especially we did it on 2 business nights, I believe. I know we've done it once. I think we did it twice. Psalm 136, 26 times in 26 verses in Psalm 136. These words are repeated, for his mercy endureth forever. The number 26 in the Bible is the number of the gospel. What about that? I don't know about you, but I got plenty of mercy that endures forever when I got saved after hearing the gospel. Lamentations 3:22, it is of the Lord's mercies we're not consumed, because his compassions fail not. It's of his mercies we're not consumed. Every morning. Because his compassions fail not. And then verse 23, sure he's trying to run ahead of him. They are new every morning. Great is thy faithfulness. Yeah. Mercy is defined as goodness, kindness, faithfulness, and love. That's how you define mercy. We raise up every morning with new mercies to go with us all day. A calamity is a state of deep distress or misery. I could have been in that today. And caused by